Teens tying the knot and much needed reboots.
On this episode of Simply Necessary Conversations.
So, trending topics, I've been seeing this all over TikTok. I don't know what has been causing it, but instead of promposals in the traditional sense, a lot of people during their prom reveal of when they walk down in their pretty dress and, their guy or gal comes out and sees them for the first time. They're doing actual marriage proposals while they are still in high school, obviously, because they're going to prom. And I just want to talk about, is that a good thing or is that a bad thing? We talk about, teen pregnancy all the time and how that's not necessarily the best. So is it a good thing that they're going ahead and starting their lives together, or are they kind of, being a little bit hasty and irrational in their youth?
I don't think it's a good thing or a bad thing. I don't think it's the best thing. Now, of course, it depends on the situation. There are couples that meet in high school and they...
Or meet even younger
than that, and they get married right out of high school and they stay together forever. And then there's couples that meet in high school and get, engaged or plan to get married or whatever, get married, and it doesn't work out. So I think it's a case-by-case basis. I generally don't think it's a good idea. Now, I don't think even getting engaged is a good idea that young. But, getting engaged if you think you have met your person might not be a bad thing. I would hope that if they got engaged, they would at least not rush to actually get married. Yeah. They would give it some time to be engaged, because that's young. That's super young.
I think high school is a time for a good old promise ring.
Yeah.
But I also think that if you pass high school, why are you giving me a promise? Promise ring is for high school. And then in college age, 20-somethings is, acceptable, in my opinion, engagement time. And then getting married later 20s, early 30s is I think that is probably the best thing. Just as someone who is young and a couple clicks away from having been in high school, I was not mature enough to be talking about getting married to somebody at 18. That's insane to me. And even as a 23-year-old now, I'm 23 now, Jordan year. Even as a 23-year-old, I don't think it would be the best decision ever to go and get married right now.
No.
Because we still got stuff to get in order. We still got finances to get in order. We still got to decide where we want to live, if we want to rent, buy, all of that. There's a lot more that goes in it other than just wanting to be with the person.
And as someone that got married right out of college, I got engaged my junior year of college and got married 2 weeks after I graduated, I wouldn't recommend it, simply because I think it would have served me well to have lived as an adult single person for a minute, even if it was just for a short time, because I went from my mom's house.
I don't even think you have to be single. I just think you shouldn't necessarily
get married.
A wife.
I think I would not recommend it, because I went from my parents' house to married, and I never had time to be an adult single person or even an adult person in a relationship. It's kind of like I was a kid and then I was a married woman. And I really wish that I had. Also, in my case, I feel like if I had given myself some time to, because let me set this up for real. So you get engaged. Let's move away from high school. Let's do college, because the high school thing I think is a little bit crazy. So let's go to college now. You get engaged in college. Well, that for me, that entire engagement, I was in college. He was not, but I was in college. So we're dating, being an engaged couple, and within the parameters of college, the restraints that put on me. I think maybe, and I will never ever know now, if I had gotten to be an adult person dating him that did not have college, getting up doing the business of adulting every day and dating him, I would have gotten to see a different side of him. Because in a way, I saw kid him, but never dated the adult him. And the adult him was not necessarily the best match for me.
I think the two people, at minimum, both need to be employed and have the responsibilities of having a job, having to get up and go to work every day, and still having to make time for one another, because I think that's the thing that prepares you the most for marriage. I got to wake up at 6:30 in the morning, and then I got to go to sleep, and I got to do my routine. If I'm willing to make time for my man within the parameters of I got to go and make some bread now, that's a little bit different than, because in college and in high school, you working.
Other than schoolwork, you don't have to worry about where am I going to fit that person in, because you don't have any responsibilities.
And it's almost like that person is like your, oh, yay, free time. Like
Mhm.
it's almost like that's your fun person.
Yeah.
Where when you are an adult and you're working every day and you have goals and you're trying to have a savings and you have bills to pay and you have adult responsibilities and adult drama and all of
Yeah.
that type of stuff, it's a little bit different, and you can kind of see how they react in the real world to real situations. And you're not looking at it through
Yeah.
rose-colored glasses. It's very much, we're both grown. We either gonna end up together or we're not. And like
Yeah.
those are the only two options. In college, you like, oh, where am I gonna end up and what am I gonna do and
Yeah.
how much money? Like
They're just
everything
kind
is
of
so.
automatically factored into everything, whereas an
Yeah.
adult with a job, you have to factor them in.
And
'Cause
there's gonna be decisions you have to make, like if your job sends you somewhere else, are you gonna do it? If is your job, worth more than the person that, like, those type of situations
Yeah.
are gonna have to be made, and you're gonna have to make a lot more sacrifices.
You don't have the same stressors to test the relationship. I can remember when we bought our house, the builder of the house told us, he's like, if y'all make it through the building of this house together, there's a good likelihood you'll stay married. Because he's like, I've seen many couples with the stress of making all the decisions
was
about a
wrong about
home.
that,
He
but-
was wrong about that. But he was like, I've seen a lot of couples who, through the home building process, all of the decisions and having to come to an agreement with somebody, whatever stuff. He's like, I've seen a lot of people that seem to be happily married when they get ready to build a house, get a divorce. I also heard that if you made it through childbirth, like having a child and raising a child together, none
Yeah.
of those things
Apply to you.
apply to me because I made it through all of those things. I think, and this is neither here nor there, I think there were there was a perfect storm of circumstances here with COVID. Kind of was one of the reasons for the demise of my marriage, in addition to the fact that we got married too young
And
we had
I think a
different
negative thing
different
too
personalities and
is
different desires in a
there's a
certain kind of way.
difference. Like in my situation, I met my significant other as an adult.
Yeah.
As an adult, already out of college.
Yeah.
Like I met him, and to me, what was the perfect set of circumstances of we're both grown and we can just be together and we can make decisions together as two adult people that don't have any baggage or whatever. But I think when people, like in your case, I think when people meet super, super young, like in middle school or high school, there's almost like a codependency that's there.
Absolutely.
And then there's also a lot of drama of, oh, you pissed me off on December 16th, 1989. And then like, you just like, you carry all of that weight with you.
Yeah.
And you also like, I think if you meet someone that young, you see them as that child in a certain type of way.
It's hard to,
and you don't see them
it's
as
hard
a new
to see them as
person.
an adult. And then that saying, familiarity breeds contempt, is a real thing. Sometimes the longer you get to know someone or the better you get to know them, you start to see the parts of them that you don't like. Now, that's going to be true in any situation, but sometimes if you marry somebody too soon, you have not allowed the audition to end. You got to give it time for the audition to end. In college, high school, especially college also, they're still in audition mode. You have not seen them get using an analogy, you have not seen them get the job and do all the things that are required. You see them interview and audition, but you do not see them in actual
I'll
work
also
mode.
say, I feel like you value your partner more when you met a lot of crappy behind people before you get with them. And if you are with someone since middle school, high school, college,
and don't allow for other people.
There's no time. And I'm not saying that you have to. Like, I'm not saying that I had to experience terrible men to know that I want to be with my man, but it makes me appreciate him 20 times more because I know what I could have been with.
That's
what
true.
I could have ended
That's
up with
true.
if I didn't have common sense, or if I let myself get in a bad situation, or I just didn't know any better and I just lost all hope.
Yeah.
Like, it makes you appreciate, like, oh, you actually, you're real cool.
Yeah, ladies, young ladies, please date a lot of people and don't worry about people talking about you and why she with this person and calling. Don't
not
let
go
people.
home with a lot of
I was gonna
people.
say, don't let people slut shame you, but also don't be a slut. Don't let people slut shame you for dating a lot of people, because if you meet someone, they seem to be the perfect person, and you just glom onto them and don't allow yourself to meet anybody else. If they turn out not to be who you think that they are, you have now wasted a lot of time. I feel like I wasted my best years.
I feel like dating is almost a weighty word. Talk to a lot of people.
Talk to a lot of people.
Go on dates. You don't have to necessarily date somebody for eons and eons and eons. I feel like especially as a young woman, you need the experience of, okay, this is what I like. This is what I don't like. And you gotta almost like be like, oh, you said something I don't like. Next. You said something
as soon as
next.
you see a red flag, don't let the desire to be with someone cause you to ignore red flags or cause you to overlook or excuse things, because you're going to end up regretting it further down the road. The sooner you go ahead and say, now this person, and do not let people, especially men or women that you're dating, make you feel like you're asking for too much. Because once you lower a standard for somebody, then they know you're willing to lower a standard. And they're going to drag you as far down as they need you to go in order to get what they want to get out of you. And that was something I was guilty of too. You know, there were a lot of things that I felt like should have been done for me, or I should have been treated a certain way or whatever stuff. And I allowed people to convince me that I was asking for too much. And so here I am 30 years down the road, wishing that I had stood my ground and asked for what I wanted and had some expectations and stuck to them, instead of saying, okay, nobody's going to be perfect, or okay, maybe I shouldn't ask for it. And this is another thing, girls, guys, whichever gender you are, if you got your stuff together and you meet somebody that doesn't have their stuff together, don't let them guilt you into feeling sorry for them because they don't have their stuff together. Oh, well, because I got a lot of, oh, well, of course you blah, 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 because your parents did this and that for you. Of course you blah, blah, blah. Like, don't let people make you feel bad for the fortunate things that have happened for you.
In terms of just like a woman's perspective, I feel like the tell for whether someone is a good or bad guy, disregarding however much money he has or whatever opportunities he had, is if he makes you feel bad if you've had better or more opportunities. Yep. He's supposed to be like, I'm so glad that you had all of those opportunities.
And he's supposed to constantly remind you to be grateful for those opportunities, not hate on you for having them. And that's not to say that you're supposed to act like a brat and be like, well, I was able to do this. Yeah.
No, it's just... Because I've been in situations before where, like, not necessarily just even in dating, but people have been like, oh, well, you were privileged and you got to do this, and almost trying to make me feel bad for being, like, successful. And it's like, no, you're not supposed to do that. You're supposed to be like, I'm glad you had those opportunities. I'm working hard so I can have my own opportunities. We're going to build together. Like, it's supposed to be
if he's not your constant cheerleader and you don't see where you can be his constant cheerleaders, that is a red flag. Like, it's and young people, very young people, have not allowed for time. If you want to get engaged young, fine. But I actually don't think it's fine. I don't think that's ideal, but it's better to get engaged than to rush to get married.
It depends on the situation, because some people can get engaged young if they've been already, they're a family friend, they've known them for years, they trust them, they're part of the family, he part of, there's situations, or if somebody is unfortunately is dealing with teen pregnancy or whatever, and they want to, commit to that person because now we are forever tied together regardless of whether we get married or not.
But don't get married just because of pregnancy.
Well, no.
Don't do that.
No, I'm not saying that. But there are situations where it makes more sense, and then there's situations where it doesn't make as much sense. Yeah, so or
I don't know.
If you're getting shipped off to war, then you might as well go ahead and get married.
And I've even seen that somebody marry somebody because they're going into the military, and that be careful of those young ladies. Be careful of guys that are going into the military because they will marry somebody because they know they're going to have to go live in another country and they don't want to have to do that alone.
There's financial benefits to being married.
And then also there are some women that will marry somebody in the military for financial benefits. You just got to vet the person. You got to know who you're dealing with and allow yourself time to. I recommend date often and date a variety of people. Give yourself some time, and then once you are ready, get engaged. But don't rush into engagement. Don't rush into marriage.
The moral of the story is don't. Like, if someone's being hasty about getting married, there's probably a reason.
They want you to hurry up and get tied to them before you can see who they are.
There's probably a reason, and especially if they're in a predicament, they got baby mama drama, they got something going on, and they want to get married fast. It's almost like, why?
Yeah.
Why do you want to get married so fast?
They might feel like that,
And that's not to say that people should, because I'm not a proponent of being engaged for 10 years.
Yeah.
But...
No.
There's a common ground there.
Yeah, use your common. Every situation is different. Use your best judgment. Be careful and thoughtful before you make a decision.
Yes.
Yeah.
Well, let me put y'all on. As I'm sure everyone from my generation knows, Phineas and Ferb is coming back, and Stranger Things is finally going to finish the series after almost 10 years.
Yeah.
But we just not focusing on the shows that are finally coming back that we're super excited about. But I want to talk about what show do you think should come back? Because we already know Stranger Things need to have been finished. Phineas and Ferb is a cartoon classic. We love a good squirrels in my pants moment or busted. But what show do you think should make a comeback for either a new generation or just continuing with the same storyline that it ended with?
There has been talk about it forever, and there's been times when I thought, oh, it's actually going to happen, and then it didn't happen. But mainly for you and all college-age students should have been able to experience Living Single. Like, Living Single, to me, was the continuation of A Different World. Like, you had A Different World, college students. Living Single picked up at that age where, okay, now you're done with college, and they are in that mode that we just got done talking about, adults out of college, but not yet marriage age necessarily, or not yet ready to be in a marriage. It was a good show, and I will also go on record to say that Living Single was the Black people's versions of Friends.
Living Single was the first
It
version
was
of
for, yeah.
Friends.
And some people have hypothesized that Friends kind of stole the concept and, ran with it. But it was a good show. It was realistic enough, but also entertaining enough that it held your attention. The characters were great. They all had great personalities. We could at any given time, me as a female, you could identify with any of the female characters on the show. Like, sometimes you were Sinclair, sometimes you were Khadijah, sometimes you were Regine, and we all wanted to be
this show, and I've never seen it.
And you have not seen it, and I want you, when you watch it, to watch it from start to finish. Like, don't watch like episodes here and there. Watch it from start to finish, because all the characters evolved and developed over time. And I came to love them. I want that show to come. And it kind of ended in an anticlimactic way. Like, we didn't know it wasn't coming back. I think there's been shows where they've talked about the fact they didn't know they weren't coming back. So, like, we never got the ending of that story. I want them to bring it back, but only if they're going to be thoughtful about it. Only if the writing is going to be good. Only if the original characters are going to be on the show. Because I don't want a Living Single, where
like new generation.
Yeah, like new generation. Like, I want the original characters to come back, except for that one boy roommate that they got. I don't know why he even came on the show. He must have been somebody's cousin. We don't need him back. But the women and the original guys that were their neighbors and that, Sinclair ended up there, whatever. Living Single.
Well,
I need it back.
I'll have to watch it now that I'm at the age where, like,
you,
it applies to my life.
you need to watch it.
I would say kind of on a similar plane, but probably I think a few years later. Girlfriends. I want Girlfriends to come back.
That was a good one.
Because I feel like when I initially watched it, I feel like I was too young to truly relate to the characters. But Girlfriends, they work more like early 30s versus mid 20s, but like same difference, whatever.
Yeah.
I feel like their story in like a modern day setting, and like, or the same characters a little bit older. So now instead of experiencing their 30s, we're experiencing their 50s. And they all still look good. Body still tea.
All of them still look great.
I feel like they could continue that story. And I feel like there should be more shows on TV, because I feel like there's a lot of like sci-fi and fantasy or like over dramatized shows. Like, for instance, no shade to All American, because it has been one of my favorite shows for years. But where there's always some drama, somebody gets shot, somebody get broken up with.
We need a good sitcom.
I like a good show that's about the mundane moments in life that good writers make insanely funny.
Yeah.
And I feel like in the early 2000s, you had Living Single, you had Girlfriends, you had Friends, you had Seinfeld. All of those shows were about
everyday life. Yeah,
a
like everyday
mundane show.
Life. Yeah.
So I feel like we need something similar. We
need something where we can like our spirits need to be lifted really badly.
I would say, even though it was a little messy, I would say The Game needs to come back, and you gotta have Tia back.
Oh my goodness, Tasha, my girl, like, yes, I live for that. Yeah, that would be a good one to come back to.
Because I just feel like there could be more to, like, there could be more. They could add some new characters, a new generation of like football players.
Yeah,
and then
that
the
one
OGs,
can add
like,
new characters because that's the way that life would have really been.
Anyway.
They cycle through anyway. But Tasha Mack has to come back or don't do it.
She made the show funny.
Like, please do not do it without Tasha Mack. I'm just saying.
What did she used to call Tia on the show?
Med School.
Yes, Med School.
I loved her.
Even though we were all mad at Tia for taking that man bag, but
They were an example of what we talked about in the previous segment. They got together too young, and so they had a lot of messiness they had to work through.
He cheated on her.
I
He
know.
had a whole baby on her. He had an entire human life.
I know.
No, we did not want to. We wanted her to go to med school, become a doctor, find somebody new.
Yeah, well, whatever. Tasha Mack must come back, and we need to know what happened to Tia's character. Like we need her.
Also, wild card show that has nothing to do with 2000 sitcoms, The Librarians.
Oh, before we move
that.
off of the game, I also think Miss Brandy did her big one
Brandy
on that show.
Needs to come
Brandy
back.
needs to be. Don't do it without Tasha. Don't do it without Brandy. Do not do it without Tia. I'm mixing the show names with the real names. Y'all know what I'm talking about. Don't do it. Okay, now I interrupted that.
The Librarians. That needs to come back. Because
Timeless, The Librarians.
Timeless, I feel
like Timeless.
Timeless was good, but I feel like it's the type of show that it would have started to get very repetitive because there was only so much.
I don't know, because I needed to know what was going on with Rittenhouse. I needed closure
feel like there
on
was
that.
Only so much they could do with like time travel. Okay, time travel. Okay, time. You know
what you're saying is that they had all of history to draw from.
Yes, but it would have been the same. They go back in time. Something goes wrong. They change history. They come back.
I don't
they go
know.
back in time. Something goes wrong,
minimally, I needed to know. I needed Rittenhouse to be exposed, or I needed to find out who was behind Rittenhouse. I just needed something. I needed closure on that one. Other shows, maybe not, but on that one, I needed it.
I feel like The Librarians had a little bit more elements to the show that could be worked with. Mm-hmm. So I feel like that's why The Librarians should have come back.
That's one that you could have gone on indefinitely.
Went on. You don't care about this, but Moon Knight needs another season.
Never watched it.
It's still relatively super new, but I feel like they're never going to make another season, and they're not going to put that character in the MCU, and that just pisses me off because that was an excellent character.
I don't know. I think I heard that they did their final season, but I don't want the Upshaws to end. I found the Upshaws very entertaining.
But that's still current. So you can't that's
but they're getting ready to end it, and I think I don't know that for sure. Y'all check me, but I think that show had some it had possibility for longevity. They needed to keep that going because I found it thoroughly entertaining.
You also don't hear about this show because I don't think you ever watched it. But Gravity Falls needs to come back.
No, that one I never watched.
Because it gives so much, it's so mystic. Like, they could make a live action version, in my opinion, as long as they keep it true to how the original was. Gravity Falls could definitely.
Well, you need to write a letter to the Disney company and let them know that you need that in your life. Maybe they'll listen.
Yeah, and like maybe they'll even put me in it or let me be a scriptwriter.
Or something.
Who knows? There's just so many shows that I've watched over the years where it's just like, I need that back. Mm-hmm. But what had happened was, moving on to something that I didn't know was a thing. I mean, I knew it was a thing, but I didn't know it was a thing. So everyone knows about Hooters. You know, you get a side of booty with your chicken wings. But now there's Twin Peaks. So you get a side of tatas with your tacos, I guess. I don't know.
Well, Hooters was about the tatas too. Like, it was
Hooters and Twin Peaks are both about the booty and the boobs. Mm-hmm. The girls got to show it all. Mm-hmm. I don't know why, but it's apparently a thing that people enjoy. But somebody that works at, because Twin Peaks is almost like the newer or like now newly popular version of Hooters. I don't feel the need to go to either one because I don't want to see half naked women walking around carrying my food because to me that's gross.
Yeah.
But that's just, a personal thing. But somebody that works at Twin Peaks posted online and it went viral. And she was just talking about all of the different requirements the girls have to have when they are working at the restaurant. They have to wear like a certain like dramatic makeup. Like she was like, you have to be able to see the makeup from across the room. Like that's how dramatic it has to be. They have to have their hair done. They have to have their nails done. They have to wear the little skimpy uniform. And like the rules to me seemed very... It just seemed very sexist, but like also these women are signing up to do this.
They signed up for it. But I even heard back in the day that Hooters paid for their girls to have gym memberships. Like they paid for that. That was a part of.
But to me, it's just like, well, I
think that's a difference in people. There are some women that don't mind being objectified in that way because the name of the restaurant says it all. They know what they're signing up for. It's kind of like, exotic dancers and strippers or whatever.
But to me, I'm not going to do any of it.
I'm not doing any of those things either.
I have a degree for a reason. I'm not going to do any of it.
Of those, now let's not disparage those because some of them have degrees too. Like everybody that's working at those places is not
that's cool.
uneducated. I just want to put that out there.
I'm not going to do it. But if I'm going to work at Hooters, I might as well work at a strip club and make 10 times as much money. Like, because you're essentially doing the same thing.
No. Now, let me be
I'm
devil's advocate.
I'm not saying be a prostitute, but in the words of Cardi B, look, don't touch.
Okay, here's the thing. I'm going to speak for those women, even though I'm not qualified to speak for those women. Being an exotic dancer or a stripper, that's literally what you're dancing for someone. You are stripping to expose yourself for someone. The people working at the restaurants, while I wouldn't do either job, their job is to serve food. Do they have to look a certain way as they're serving the food? Yes, but it's a little bit different because there's a difference between wearing some short shorts or a little skimpy outfit and bringing somebody some chicken wings versus stripping naked so that they can look at my body. One, I am specifically doing that job so that I can be exposed.
You are looking at like there's a reason why
it's similar, but it's different. It's similar, but it's different.
The girl, I saw a different video a while ago where a girl was like flat chested like me, CEO of the Itty Bitty Titty Committee. And she like was showing us, or not us, but like showing us flat chested women how to make your boobs look bigger. And she worked at Hooters, and she was like, she would wear the Victoria's Secret bombshell triple push-up bra and put something in, like put one of the padding things in it. And like she went from looking like me to looking like Wendy Williams. So it's just like, to me, I feel like when you have that type of job.
Well, then I question, why would she even go there to get a job? Like, why
she was pretty. She just had tiny boobs.
Okay, yeah, but like
she had the booty, but she didn't have the boobs.
Oh, so she was all about that base,
everybody can't be blessed,
Well, but I personally have no interest in patronizing those type of restaurants because I want you to be as covered up as possible handling my food.
Why would I want a butt cheek near my food?
If you're a man or a woman who's attracted to women, then that's why.
It's a random booty cheek. It's not somebody you know.
I want the people that's making my food to look like grandmas. I need them to be cut at least, for the purpose of making.
I'm not saying
I want them to be covered up and the kitchen clean and them not being able to scratch parts of their body and touch naked flesh and then touch my food. That's all I'm saying.
And I'm not saying you got to be ultra conservative because I don't dress that conservative. But at the same time, I feel like I don't, and then like a lot of these women are in relationships. I don't see how they significant other don't feel no certain type of way.
Everybody doesn't think the same way. Like there are some guys that would be kind of stick their chest out because my girl works at and she looks good in that little outfit. Like it's a different mindset.
I would get broken up with.
It's a different mindset.
Walking around with my boobs and my booty out.
What really surprises me though,
lustful,
is that business model that there are still.
That's the thing. It's like in 2025 when like women have access to more opportunities than ever before. Why is that like I feel like
okay? So let me be the senior in the room because I am absolutely the senior in the room and say to you, you're speaking based on your opinions and mindsets. What we both have to do, and especially you, young grasshopper, is accept that there are a lot of people
I understand that.
whose life choices differ greatly from ours, and they're saying their argument might be, why would I want to spend all that money to go to college and have to sit up and I can go and do this for a couple hours and make more money than you and in 1 week or 1 day than you. Evidently they don't, and that's their grown business.
I would feel like I could be wearing regular clothes. Like I don't like for people to just be ogling at me and looking at me in a certain type of way.
Well, that's you though. Those women say you got to go and get up at whatever time and trek into the office, and you got to have they say they can go and do what they do, make a lot of money, and not have to worry about any of the things that you have to worry about. So it's a different mindset, and you have to. Well, you don't have to like it,
because
I'm not giving mind your own little black business.
I've only ever been to Hooters one time because
When did you go to Hooters?
Because my friends wanted to go to Hooters.
Oh.
And it was like late, and it was like one of the only things that was open, and it was like Hooters or IHOP, and they were like, I don't want breakfast food, so let's go to Hooters.
Okay.
And first of all, it was just like, ugh.
Well, you're being very judgy. I'm
not being judgy in terms of like, ugh, to the women that want to do it. Like, I'm all for women's rights, feminism, hurrah. But I still don't want booty cheeks next to my food. So I was just grossed out by that. And then all of the cooks and stuff, even though there's like naked women half naked women surrounding them, they were looking at us like, ooh. And I'm just like, how do y'all do this all day long?
To receive a lot of hate comments on this show because there are some women that are going to feel like you're being very judgy,
I'm not
very
being
bougie.
judgmental. I'm saying I don't want to do it, and I don't understand how you want to do it, but you can do it if you want to do it.
Okay.
Period.
Well, they
Simple
say
like that.
on behalf of those women, thank you for
They're gonna be
allowing
like,
them.
oh, well, you're just,
Thank you for
don't
allowing them
understand.
to make their choices.
I'm not allowing them to make their choices. I'm just saying I don't understand the choices that they're making, but they have free will to make their choices. But I have free will to have an opinion.
I understand their choices. I wouldn't make those choices for myself, but I understand it.
I mean, for that matter, I understand why some people are strippers.
No,
But
yeah.
it's just like, I personally, I would not do that.
Me either. But
I'm in a position where I don't have to do that.
I wouldn't want to. There's certain jobs in the healthcare field I wouldn't want because of various reasons. Like to each his own is all I can say is to each his own. I don't understand the business model. Like I don't understand.
It just seems like an HR issue waiting to happen. Like as somebody that works in corporate America, you can't just walk around like that.
But the people that open those restaurants are not worried about those HR issues because they know that the women that come and apply for those jobs are okay with what comes with those jobs. So like, no, this is not like we're talking about a teacher who has a principal who's wanting them to wear booty shorts and a crop top. That it's a non-issue because you got like minds. You got a business model where
you're sitting in there, boobs out, booty out, and then a family member walk in.
That family knows where they work. Right, 9 chances out of 10,
no,
that family knows where they work.
Or what if like you're dating somebody and then their family comes in?
Again, hopefully he knows, therefore his family would know, so like it's a non-issue.
I don't
You're
know.
still refusing to accept that there are some people that it's not an issue for.
That's good for them, I guess.
Yes, it is.
Wonderful for them.
They're not breaking the law and they're paying bills.
Well, I'm not saying that they're terrible or immoral people. That's not what I think. I just don't understand how you want to do it. I just don't.
As long as they're adult tax-paying citizens, bravo. Do whatever you do, you boo.
I don't care if they pay taxes.
I do, because if they don't pay them, somebody else is going to have to pay them.
There's people that don't pay taxes right now that's in charge of the taxes.
We're not going to get in there.
Anyway, but Ask a Gemini. I feel like this is another one that people are going to be like, what the hell?
They're going to drag you. You start cursing.
That's not a curse word.
It is a curse word.
No, it's not.
Moving on.
Anyway, Ask a Gemini. I just thought this was very funny, and people were having a hoot and a holler in the comment section, so I was like, we got to talk about it. Someone said, and I already know your answer, I think, and you probably already know mine, but someone said, would y'all break up with the man if you found out that he could do a split? My question is...
wait, hold on. Hold your question, because I got some. Number one, how does he know he can do... How does he know he can do a split? Number two, under what circumstances is he doing a split? I don't think I would break up with a man if I found out he could do a split, because that's something that he would never let me know and I would never ask. Like I don't even know how to deal with that.
I feel like, okay, this is coming from a very heterosexual mindset. And this is also coming from, I'm assuming that because of me, I'm assuming that the man in question is also a straight man.
Okay.
But I feel like the only way that I would be like, okay, you can do a split is if he's a gymnast. That's the only way that I'd be like, okay, you can do a split. But if for some reason, and my man can't do a split, I'm just putting that out there. But if for some reason he came in and was just like, hey, look what I can do, and then he did a split,
I'd be wondering why. Like,
what
made you decide to try
how
it?
It's physically possible.
No, I mean, I guess there are some people that are born flexible like that just have the ability to do a split.
But why are you doing the splits?
I don't know.
As a grown man, why are you doing the splits?
I can't. That's what I'm saying. I can't think of a reason that he would be doing one.
It would even be
How
weird.
would he even know that he could do one?
I think it would even be weird if I just randomly was like, I could do a split, and then I do a split. That's just weird, no?
I think most people that can do a split know way before they get to be our age, and you're not as old as me, but like most people that can do a split would know at a young age. I can't do one either. But yeah, like it would be odd. I would have to know the circumstances under which he number one tried doing the split and
I feel like the only thing that would be like, okay, is gymnastics. That's the only, or like, oh, like I was taking gymnastics.
Okay, I mean, this is really, really, really reaching and an extreme example, but like let's say he was running or doing something physically, like some type of physical exertion, and maybe in baseball, like how they did in legal. Maybe he ran and did the split and was like, "Oh, I can do a split."
But once again,
I don't know.
As when you have certain parts,
I don't know how the other parts
you don't
work.
I feel like, okay, I'm not a boy, so I don't know. But I feel like as a man, you have to intentionally train to be able to do a split because you have a ding-a-ling.
Hey,
I'm just like, we all know what I'm
edit
saying.
that out. Bleep that out, please.
That's not a curse word.
I don't care. It's
inappropriate.
just, no.
I
Bleep
feel
that
like
out.
you have to train for that. No? You can just like, can guys just do split?
As someone that doesn't have that genitalia, I don't know. I don't know how it works. I don't know.
I just feel like it would be very painful as a guy to just do it.
I would think so too, but again,
it's painful as a girl.
But
to even try to do
babies, as someone that has had a baby, babies are very flexible. So I'm sure there's some guys that were born with that flexibility and that continue to have that flexibility throughout their life. Like there's double jointed people and people that can just do things. So like maybe
like
he's just double. I don't know.
This is just one of those weird things where it's just
that's
like
a very
unexpected.
odd. Like this is an odd topic.
It's just like the other day I found out my boyfriend don't have flip flops. He refuses to wear flip flops.
Well, that doesn't surprise me because as someone that has dated men and been around men, a lot of men don't like for their toes to show.
No. He doesn't care about his toes showing.
And then some people don't like there's only a certain type of flip flop that I will wear because I don't like things.
It's because he thinks flip flops are too feminine. There's no other reason.
Now he's just ridiculous. You live in Florida.
But I wouldn't. Flip flops wouldn't do it for me.
I can see. Okay, no, I don't like that style of shoe or whatever, but like it's not that serious.
Like it's just to me. Flip flops give like California beach boy surfer.
Yeah,
I'm not attracted to that.
But that doesn't make them feminine. Like that's just like a look, a style.
Like it's just. I feel like he would look ridiculous.
Well, I guess that's right up there with me. Where if you are a man and you wear white shoes, like loafer, like white closed-in shoes. That's off-putting for me.
That's just random. There's no logic behind that.
White dress shoes on a man are a turnoff to me.
We talking about sneakers or dress shoes?
No, I'm not talking about sneakers. I'm talking dress shoes, like either loafers or like church dress shoes, like with a suit. Like white shoes don't work unless you're doing a Miami Vice Don Johnson type situation where I know you don't get the reference, but unless you're all white, like you it's a look, it would have to be. But if you got on an outfit and dress shoes or loafers and they're white, to me that gives cat daddy. Like it's just a thing. Like I don't like it. I don't know.
Why did that make me think of Cat Williams?
Yeah, like that's just a cat daddy situation where you're gonna wear white loafers or white clothes and shoes. Like why are you doing that?
Let me put some pimp in it.
No. Yeah, so I guess everybody has their icks, and that's one for me. Like, I don't like that. Yeah.
I don't know. Mm-hmm. But he don't need to learn how to do a split.
If he can't do a split, he doesn't need to learn how. And if he can do a split, unless there's...
Because I feel like, I don't know, I just feel like this specific... Ooh. This is specifically about Black men because that's the only men I've ever been around. Like in a way that I would be talking about random crap like this. I feel like the only thing that Black guys do that are split like is they gonna learn how to do a backflip. They want to do a backflip. I don't know what that is. Yeah. Like they want to do acrobatics.
Well,
they don't.
So if they were acrobatically inclined and they incorporated a split in their acrobatics, would you still think the same thing?
It's the same way that like. I forget what comedian was talking about it, but it's the same way that she was saying they were doing. So I think they were horseback riding. They were doing something, and her man fell, and she like kept looking away until he regained his composure because she didn't want to see him fall. I forget who said that, but it was hysterical because she was just like, it was just not. It was just
she didn't want to see him not in a manly situation. Okay, I mean,
I think falling is fine.
Again, to each his own. Some things some people wouldn't care about, and some things
there's people just have weird icks. There's weird icks for everybody.
For me, if I'm dating a guy and he's a straight guy, I wouldn't want him to wear makeup. Now, if you're gay and you wear makeup, I'm just saying there's certain things that I think.
I feel like only like femme-presenting guys wear makeup.
But I say that because there are some straight men that wear makeup.
Ooh.
I mean, I don't know them personally, but I know there are some straight men that wear makeup.
The only time that I've ever heard of a straight guy like that's not like femme presenting or whatever wearing makeup is if they're like doing a photo shoot or they're a model or they're on TV or they're an anchor.
So in just their regular life, for me, if I'm dating someone and he's a straight guy, I don't want him wearing makeup. I also, if he's an actor, not that that's ever gonna happen, but if he's an actor, a model, whatever, and he does have to wear makeup for his job, I don't want him to overdo it. Like, just enough so I'm not shining on camera. Because if he's getting a full beat.
I feel like this is a very specific set of circumstances.
Yeah, I'm just saying, if he's getting a full beat and enjoying it or depending on it.
But there are some
then that's
straight
a problem for
guys
me.
that just like wearing makeup.
And that's what I'm saying.
My
like,
man not doing that,
I would not be attracted to that.
No.
Because I don't wear makeup, number one. Like, I don't wear a lot of lipstick, eyeliner, some mascara. I'm good. Like, I'm not doing it.
I don't want you.
So I don't want you to be makeup dependent when here I am not wearing makeup. So, like, your beat is going to be better than mine. Like, that's a problem.
I like a masculine man, my masculine man. And I feel like makeup is just not masculine.
Yeah.
Because
there are some men, like that guy that was next to us at the Beyonce concert, that can put on a beat and,
I don't think he was straight, though.
I know, but I'm just saying, makeup works for him. Like, it worked for him.
I'm not. No, that's not.
But if I'm dating you and
industry.
you're makeup dependent, I'm not dating you. I can't. I can't.
And also, past the makeup, if you can you only can wear a hat, that's weird.
Always got to wear a hat.
Like, I like the fact that my man has nice hair.
Yeah.
Because even
if you don't have nice
dependent.
hair, an odd shaped head is a turnoff. Like, you could be bald, you could have hair, you could not have, like, whatever, but an odd shaped hair or a weird one of those things where you're refusing to just give up the ghost because, like, your hairline is back here now and you're still refusing to cut the rest of it off.
I would prefer for my man not to be bald.
I really don't care at this point because there's some sexy bald men, Boris Kojo and the like.
Yes, but I can't imagine him bald.
I would prefer
can imagine him
man
with a super short cut, but not like shiny
your man,
bald.
I don't think would work bald. Like, some people, it doesn't give bald. But
it don't give bald.
If you are, like I said, if your hairline is back here and you refuse to just go ahead and get rid of that, like, just go ahead and cut that off, that's a problem. I'd rather you just be bald.
I'm so glad you don't have one of them, like, you trying to grow a huge beard and then it's patchy.
Yeah. Not that face.
Ew, now you look dirty.
Yeah.
No,
like, there are certain things that I would just, like, prefer that you not do. Like, yeah.
This was very odd.
It was very random. We went off on a tangent, but
you know, then if you want to hit the splits, hit the splits. We don't want you hitting the splits, but that ain't none of our business.
You already dating somebody. I doubt anybody that's trying to date me is
my
gonna be
man
trying
not
to do
hitting
a
the
split.
splits. So do whatever you want.
Because they got to be 50-something, 50, 60-something years old. They're not going to be trying to do a split.
Whatever you like. Well, this is just us yapping.
Yeah.
But anyway, Gemini Gem time.
You're going first.
Did you forget?
No, I didn't forget.
Because you made a face like.
But you said it like you were expecting me to say something, and you're going first.
Unfortunately, we live in Florida. We're not.
Well, not unfortunately. Unfortunately, that there is a storm season
depending on what
Florida.
we're talking about. Unfortunately or fortunately. We live in Florida, and that means that, the potential for hurricanes is high here.
Any kind of storm.
Last year was just
Hurricane,
like
tornado.
boom, boom, boom.
Yeah.
But that means hurricane prep needs to begin because, hurricane season lasts several months. And you never know when a storm is going to pop up because a lot of times these storms pop up and then you got a few days to prepare and then everybody's preparing
and sometimes
at the same time.
days. Like, sometimes it's hours.
Or like it was supposed to go over here, but then it goes over here.
Yeah.
But then everyone's preparing at the same time. Last year we saw them long lines for gas and necessities and everything out of stock
on the shelves and stuff.
And it was really giving a last Babylon. It was really giving apocalyptic. We just want to make sure that you're prepared and think about things that you don't necessarily think about when you're preparing for a hurricane. Like, for instance, one of our huge trees in our yard completely fell down. It was inches away from our house. Luckily, it did not fall on our house. But it was a reminder to make sure that you're inspecting your trees, maybe having, like, a tree person come out and cut down any, like, hanging limbs, any big trees.
If it overhangs your house or something.
It could possibly, cause damage to your house. Because a lot of people will wait till the last minute, and then if you wait till the last minute, they probably aren't going to have time to come out.
Yeah. So, are you didn't conclude? Okay.
Yeah.
All right. So
there was nothing else to say.
Going along with the hurricane prep theme, when you are prepping for a hurricane, keep in mind that you need to stock up on food. A lot of people know that you get non-perishables, everybody, but make sure that you are. When you're stocking up on things like canned goods, you need a hand-operated can opener because you are not going to be able to use that electric can opener. And hand-operated can openers are not things that everybody necessarily has in the house. I recommend get one, keep one, especially here in Florida. And then when you stock up on your canned goods, because they're non-perishable, buy a variety of canned goods, specifically buy things that don't have to be heated, that don't have to be cooked, because you may not have electricity. And yes, you can go outside and build a fire or crank up the grill, but buy fruit buy tuna, buy things that
Ew,
don't have to
mm.
be cooked. And then also keep in mind, just, try to buy things that may do double duty. Buy fruit cocktail or canned fruit or whatever, because now you got liquid that you can drink and food that you can eat. Like sometimes it gets that serious where you need to be able to like maximize every meal that you have. So think along those lines. Make sure you are always, especially in Florida, but anywhere where you live, prepared for the worst.
Yeah. So don't forget to like, comment, share, and subscribe.
Period.
Period.